2 months ago, I fell back in love with Minecraft, and after a long break, I'm ready to rock and roll. As some might say, you never really stop playing Minecraft. It's always just a break. I want to take on a challenge not to die a single time and survive for 100 days. If I lose, I will lose my entire world. So I thought it's now my turn. Welcome to 100 days of hardcore Minecraft. Now, what is a 100 days video without some goals? Nothing, exactly. So we have a couple. We're gonna slay the Ender Dragon, we're gonna get the full set of netherite tools, and we're gonna make a dirt house. I mean, we have to. So guys, if you're ready, make sure to buckle up, get yourself a nice cold beverage, and if you're new here, consider subscribing. It's free, and I will really appreciate it. Now, let's continue with the video. Enjoy. Here comes 100 days of hardcore Minecraft. Day 1. Here we are. Hardcore survival. Yes. Walking up to the tree to show them who's boss. Punching that wood, okay? Then I went to get some coal, get some basic materials, and then walked up to a jungle temple. And there it was. The first diamond. Then I found my first zombie in the cave, killed him, and then I found some more iron, which was very needed. I started day 2 with some sightseeing. I found some sheep, so I took the wool, and then after that I went back into the jungle temple that was now my home to check my furnaces. I now had enough to make full iron armor. Look at that muscular chest. And then, because I felt so manly, I killed all the sheep. For the rest of day 2 I spent mining, looking for diamonds, and look what I found. For day 3 I didn't really do much. I continued hacking my way through the stone, and I was looking for more diamonds. Oh yes, and I found stuff. And I also built a little wheat farm, which was also nice. On day 4, I decided it was time for some sightseeing. As the adventurous explorer that I am, I went out for a voyage. I said goodbye to myself because there is actually no one else in this world, so I said goodbye to myself and left the temple. Crafted a boat and went out to conquer the seas, but after around a minute, I spotted an iceberg that seemed lost as it was in the middle of the jungle. I then discovered an abandoned ship near the iceberg and got all the treasures that were hidden. While raiding that boat, I spotted another jungle temple, and the badass that I was with all the dangers, I raided that too. As soon as it got dark, I went back to my temple to look at all the loot, then continued to mine myself some obsidian during the night. On day 5 I realized I needed a better food supply. Bread was eventually going to get a little bit boring, so I went on to make a little cow pen. I then found some friends and locked them up waiting to be killed. I'm such a good friend. And after the sunset I went to try my luck. As I was lighting up the place I felt I needed a blast in my face, so I ran up to a creeper with my shield to see if the Notch God supported me during these 100 days. And yes, it seemed he did. And then I went back to craft myself an enchantment table to get my very first enchantment. Day 6 was here and I needed a new friend, so I basically spent the entire day looking for a bird. It took me a long time, but I did find one, and he was now my true friend. And then also on the way, we found a ruined portal near the temple. Day 7 I mostly spent mining. If I wanted to get building soon, I was going to need some materials, and I also farmed up some more cows and sugarcane to get some books. On day 8, I decided it was time to clear some more space. I wanted to move inward in the jungle to build some stuff, so it was time to cut down some more roots. I grabbed my enchanted axe and gave those logs a good smack to give me some fresh air. As it got dark, I skipped the night. In the jungle, mobs can come from all sides, so I didn't feel like mining for another night. And quickly after that, on day 9, I patched up the ruined nether portal and took a look inside to see the surroundings. After that, I went on to clear some more space behind the jungle temple. On day 10 we did some more work on the surroundings. We were now 10% of the way towards our end goal. Doing pretty fine, and I felt creative and made a little circle behind the temple, which would lead as a pathway more deeply into the jungle in the future. In the night of day 10, we got ready for another voyage. As it was slowly getting into the morning, I took my chances to get enough sunlight as possible and left early. This time we would need to find a village. I got my boat and went to challenge the rough sea once again. And after a long search, I didn't find anything, but I saw a lot of beautiful scenery. And then when the night fell in day 11, I saw something suspicious underneath the water and went to check it out. As I came closer, I saw it was full of zombies. One had a trident and I had to keep focused not to die. Luckily I had a shield and tried to go for my boat, but the zombie was faster than me and he occupied my boat. As my shield was slowly breaking down, I needed a solution. I turned around and tried to swim away as soon as possible. With a trident rushing next to my ear, I found a dolphin which led me to safety. I got stranded at a desert, and as the sun started to rise again, I saw a nearby village in a savannah, far away from home, but we found it. I then went on to raid the village. I stole their melons because who doesn't love some melon, and I killed their cows because I thought that would teach the game not to mess with me. And then it was time to bring the villagers home, or take them away from their home. Anyway, I just needed to take them with me, okay? After the long travel to get the villagers here, it was now day 15. Time to make a villager breeder, something I've never done before because I've always just wanted to build. I went out and searched for all the materials I needed and cleared out this space where I wanted to build, and then it was building time. On day 19, I finished the villager breeder. It wasn't working, but I thought it'd start working later on. For the remaining of day 19, I cleaned up everything and put everything back into chests. I started day 20 with some mining. I was in need of diamonds, so I prepared some tools and went down, and after strip mining for a little while, I found a massive cave system. I found so much iron ore, so much coal, I even did find some diamonds, and I saw a creeper launch another creeper, which was pretty funny. I then found an abandoned mineshaft on top of the massive cave system, and I discovered in the mineshaft a zombie spawner. And around the corner, another one. Now, it was finally time to go into the Nether. We didn't discover anything yet, but to take a little sneak peek, so I geared up, I gave my cow some love, and checked if my villager breeder was already working, which it did not. And then I went in head first. I first found my way down, and after that, I went to look for the Nether fortress. Along the way, I found plenty of dangerous encounters, such as ghasts. I also witnessed a skeleton standoff that all of a sudden became way too romantic, and I stumbled upon a bastion which I thought was for another time. I then entered a crimson forest and found a group of hoglins, and then it was almost over. I then got surrounded by a group of hoglins and I tried working my way up, but then a skeleton shot me off and knocked me into the pit. As I fell into the pit of hoglins, I thought it was all over. But I managed to get an opportunity. With the skeleton shooting at me, hoglins on my tail was almost certain death. I ran and I managed to escape to live another day. I was on half a heart, so close to the end, but it could not be over yet, so we healed up, and then I went back to look for my Nether portal. Luckily, I left a pathway for myself to track back and accepted my defeat for not finding the Nether fortress. I went back, and for the rest of day 23, I did some farming and relaxed a little bit to craft my future plans. I thought it would be time to get my first level 30 enchantment, so during the night, I went to get the last few levels in the dark. And all of a sudden, I almost risked my life again, but I lived. On day 24, I had my plan. I decided if I wanted to do this right, I had to get full enchanted armor or weapons, so the first thing I did was create a zombie XP grinder. It would be a great source for experience to get everything enchanted. After a couple days, I finally finished the XP grinder at day 26. I rapidly continued to get levels. I was going to need full enchanted armor and weapons to go for round 2, so I went on to gather everything. I got more food, I got more diamonds, and I went on to get myself prepared for everything the game would throw at me. And then finally, on day 31, I was ready. I got myself prepared and I went for the portal. As I got back to the Nether, I knew I needed a different plan. In the far distance, I saw a warped forest, a place I didn't go to yet. But how was I going to get to the other side of the lava lake? I collected some fungus and I remembered I still had a saddle at my base, so I got that and I made a fungus on a stick to ride a strider. I then returned and managed to find a strider close to the end, and then I went to cross the enormous lava lake. Shortly after, there it finally was, the Nether fortress. I parked my strider and went into the fortress. I was looking for a blaze partner, and after a small search, I found it. After fighting off a couple of blazes, I finally got my first blaze rod. I forgot I didn't lock up the strider, so I hoped I could still find him. Luckily, he was still close, and I managed to get back in the saddle, and after a small trip, I safely returned back to my base. After I got back, I finally fixed a breeder and I got my first baby villager. I then also made another carrot farm. On day 34, it was time to clear out some more forest to make room for building. I did this for the most of day 34 and 35, and on day 36 I went back into the Nether. I was going to need some ender pearls and I tried bartering, but the piglins didn't like me, so I wasted a lot of time. Maybe I'll have better chances in a casino. And after that I went over to the warm forest to kill some more endermen. And then by day 38 I had enough ender pearls and I went back. On day 39 I wanted to build. Before I took on the Ender Dragon I wanted to get well prepared, so I wanted to make a house with potion. I got my stuff and I started building. It was now day 41 and I made some potions to prepare myself for the Ender Dragon. I was really liking how my base was slowly expanding and I took a moment to appreciate the fun I had so far. On day 42 it was time to start hunting the stronghold. I got all my gear and then fired off the first Eye of Ender. I went on a journey that could be the end of the world I already invested so much time in, because who knows what could happen. But as I traveled I said to myself, we cannot let this happen. We've overcome so much already, and I felt we were going to make it. After a while, I found a small mountain village during the night. After spending the night in there, I continued my trip, and shortly after, I found the stronghold. I inserted every Eye of Ender I had, and then I saw I missed one Eye of Ender, so I had to go back to my base to make another Eye of Ender, and then I went back, and then it was finally time to fight the Ender Dragon. And as the dragon came down one last time, I managed to get the kill. We've done it. We have slain the Ender Dragon. But it was not over yet. As I gathered more Ender Pearls, I went to the portal to look for an end city. And when we reached day 47, I found one. I now had to make my way towards the end city. One mistake and I would lose everything. I feel like I've said that too many times already, so I was doomed for it to happen. And as I made my way across, I fought my way through the city. I didn't clear every room because I just wanted the Elytra for now and would come back later to raid the end city. As I got towards the roof, I forgot about the shulkers on the side of the ship, so I took a risk and I ender pearled. I missed the ship and I saw everything flash before my eyes, but luckily I hit the ground, and then I pillared up to get my way through the bottom of the ship, and there it was, the elytra. Once I've got my prized possession, I went back home, safely, to my jungle temple. As I returned, I gave the dragon egg a nice place at the highest part of the base to shine, and then it was time for more expansion. On day 48, I decided I was going to make an iron farm. The infinite amount of iron that would be poured in would come in handy later. On day 52, I finished the iron farm and the iron started pouring in. Since I was working with some villagers, I figured I also wanted to make a small trading hall. I looked for a nice spot and I thought I'd create it underground. On day 54, I put in the first villager, and the first enchantment I got was mending. On day 56, I kept on expanding the trading hall and added a small automatic sugarcane farm. On day 57, I kept working on the trading hall. I also released an iron golem that was stuck, and after a long time refreshing enchantments, I finally got Unbreaking 3. On day 58, I enchanted my elytra with Unbreaking 3 and Mending that I could now buy from the villagers. All I needed now was some more rockets. It was now day 59. I figured it was time to start our second objective for these 100 days, netherite tools. So I did some preparing and went to the nether to do some mining. This task seemed harder than I thought, as my first trip ending on day 60, I had only found 3 pieces so far. And you need 4 pieces for a single ingot, so we needed a total of 16 pieces to get our tool set into netherite. On day 61 I went back after repair. This time, I was more lucky with finding a lot of netherite in a short time, and in our second trip, I found 12 pieces of ancient debris. We needed one more, but my pickaxe was almost out of durability. On day 62, I was done with mining for a little bit. I figured our jungle temple was getting a little bit outdated. I needed a place for some proper storage, so I wanted to build my own jungle temple with an underground storage room. As I finished the building, it was now day 69. I finished a little building and I did a little bit of decoration. I would come back later to finish off the storage. It was good that we now had a somewhat more central place to store our stuff. On the same day, I returned to the nether to get the last piece of ancient debris. And there it was. On day 70, I got the last piece. On day 71, I went to do some caving. I wanted to light up some more caves and look for some diamonds. And on day 72, I returned back to the surface with absolutely no diamonds. These 2 days were now known as the Diamond Depression. On day 73 and 74, I did some more work in the trading hall. I managed to get an Efficiency 5 book. On day 75, I wanted to work with villagers. I didn't have a lot of experience with trading halls, but I knew about the discounts, so I tried making my own little system to get the discounts. I messed up, but I did got the zombie behind them, but that would almost end my world as I accidentally gave the zombie my sword and he nearly killed me. I killed the zombie and I lost the villager as well in the process. As I said, I'm such a good friend. On day 76, I managed to get the full set of netherite tools. They look awesome, right? 2 out of 3 goals completed and it felt good. I had one name tag left for the zombies I used for the villagers, but I then found a horse which I named Destroyer version 3. I still had one goal to go, but how would we make it as epic as possible? We had made some cool buildings, but I wanted to do something big. I love the jungle and I wanted to make a cool pyramid, so on day 78 I started this massive project. Many days passed and on day 87 I finished it. With the pathway leading up to the temple, I was really happy with the outcome. It looked amazing. On day 88, I decided to create the dirt house within the temple, an iconic and valuable build that cannot be missed within the Minecraft world. We had now completed every single goal. On day 92, with all these massive trees, I decided I wanted a little tree house. I looked for a tall tree, and then I built my tree house overlooking this beautiful sight. On day 93, I decorated the pathways with some lanterns and added some grass on the side. Then on day 94, I thought it would be cool to repair everything. It looked sad with all the tools looking pretty done, so I took the following days to repair all the tools. It couldn't be over yet. With a few days left, I decided to go back to the Nether. We still needed one last voyage to close off with a bang. We didn't loot the fortress back in the Nether, so I had a mission. In the Nether fortress, I found multiple chests with some good loot, and I found more diamond horse armor. Maybe we need some more destroyers in the future. And on day 97, I found my first wither skeleton skull. I fought off more wither skeletons, but unfortunately, it only stayed with one skull, and on day 98, I returned. Then on day 99, I decorated the villager trading hall with a little statue I had seen online. Credits to my boy, X-Gold Robin. Here we were, the last day, day 100. We had done it, and as the sun started to rise, I climbed up to the treehouse to get my first glimpse of the sun. We had done it, 100 days of hardcore Minecraft. I looked over the world I had built, and it was a long time ago that I had invested so much time in the single player world, and it made me think of all the memories I had when I started playing Minecraft 11 years ago. If you've reached the end of the video, thank you for watching. This was by far one of the biggest projects I've done to date, but also one of the most fun ones so far. Thank you for sticking with me on this journey of 100 days. And if you enjoyed, I would really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up, and feel free to join the club by subscribing. It's free, and if you want to change your mind, you can always unsubscribe after. I also have a Discord server, so feel free to join and say hello. I'm also active there, so if you'd like to have a chat, that's where you'll find me. If we manage to get 50 likes, we're gonna do the 200 days with more builds, more battles, and more fun. Thank you guys for watching, have a good one, and until next time. This was 100 days of hardcore Minecraft.